What you see is what you get up on the morning show. I got a whole lot of bars, but before I go, chop real smooth, she the boss. No, baby, hold up, I'm about to go to Jellolady. They your host, 12 to 2. If you need a getaway, come and see this view. Got a whole lot of drama feeling like you wanna snap out. Put your feet up and watch a Midday Madhouse.
Are we better? Because we was off. What's the problem now?
We're trying to figure it out. Nope.
Is it not better?
Nope.
Oh. All right, hold on.
Wait a minute. We trying to figure it out. We don't know what's going on. This is what happens when you go live.
Yes, all the way.
Oh, there you go.
Are we there now?
But it's real low. Are we okay now?
Better? What it sound like, y'all?
I'm trying to figure it out. I guess I can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear us too. Let's see. We'll go check somewhere.
He said better. Okay, thank you, Parquet.
Thank you,
We
Parquet.
was waiting on you.
Yeah, we needed somebody, that loved us to tell us.
Right.
We had a problem.
Right. We appreciate the love.
Yes, we do appreciate it. You want us in our best.
Yeah. So I'm coming out tonight to Tina's Tacos.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Tina's Tacos is
yes,
tight.
and I seen the restaurant is really nice looking on the inside.
Oh,
so
good.
Parquet, you're DJing tonight. So Tina's Tacos, I will be there to support my brother Parquet, so he can him and his DJing. I don't know what in the world is going on. My phone is like acting like it wants to do this. My phone is doing it today. Yeah. It's been doing it since 3:30 this morning.
Right.
But so Parquet, you have, and he will also be at the 45th Street Pub on Friday.
Yeah.
So in Edgewater, right off of Route 130. So make sure you come out for that. And the crowd been pumping. I've been seeing his videos. The crowd is live in there.
Well, I guess I'm going to be at the 45th tomorrow, and I guess I'm being Tina's tonight for a minute to get a taco.
I just want to taste the tacos because I read all of the reviews on there, and everybody keeps saying.
Parquet, what time we gonna be there?
I got to look at the flyer because I don't know what time it is. What time is Tina's Tacos tonight? Cause we coming tonight just to see, look around, eat a little bit taco. Ain't nothing like a taco
Yeah.
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah. Look, I can eat taco
Oh,
Monday.
wait.
Yeah.
It all depends on what time it starts because
Yeah.
I have my nephew's.
Yeah,
Today. So he leaves us today. So it all depends on what time it is. But I'll definitely
6 to
be
10.
6 to 10. I don't know. I gotta call you and let you know if I'm gonna make it. But I'll definitely be at the 45th pub though. I know that for sure. But yeah, so it's a lot going on. You know, we have a lot of stuff that is being covered. You know, it's a lot of things going on here at WCMD. We have the Anthony Wade show getting ready to start. We was in here and boy, oh boy, did we have a good time yesterday. Production was the bomb yesterday. So shout out to Mr. Ways and Mike Ways, his co-host for the Anthony Wade show. So make sure y'all make sure you tune in to hear this show, because not only was we behind the scenes and helping and doing everything, but
got a lot of good information.
Like I love the way he talks.
Right.
You can learn a lot off of Mr. Anthony Ways. So please make sure you tune in. You know, the show, we'll give you the drop date. There's no drop date yet.
But there will be one.
Coming soon. But here at WCMD, we have IMD, the Wake Up Show, from 9 to 11. Of course, you have us, the Midday Madhouse. Yeah.
During the middle of the day, nights at 12 to 2.
Yes.
And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have
Jenny Smanny
with the Comfort Level podcast. And then, of course, we have Trendsetter with I Shine More Radio on Wednesdays from 6 to 8. We also have on Friday, we got the kennel.
The what?
The kennel with they doggish.
With they doggish.
you know, that's what happens over there. And then, Saturday we got a break. But we need somebody to fill it. So if you want to do a podcast,
so we have Saturdays open for podcasts, and then Sunday, oh Lord, Sunday.
Sunday. We have the Dumbass Radio Show. Big Dummy. From 1 to 2.
Right.
And then we have 856 from 3 to 5.
Right.
So
we're still looking for more podcasters. So if you want to chime in, you want to come in, all you have to do is hit us up and we'll go ahead and sit down, have a meeting with you and talk to you. And maybe you want to become part of the WCMD family. Other than that, life is still going on out here. I want to put out a personal, I don't know how do you put it, because it's real saddening. We had someone that died very close to us, Goya. He passed away this morning. Violence. And, we just want to send our love from the Midday Madhouse to his mother and his family, his sister, his kids. It's a very sad situation. And he was a really good dad. So, our prayers are with you guys. Also, there was a fire out here in Camden. There was a fire. There was 2 fires. So, we want to send out our blessings to them, because there's nothing like a fire. And when I was younger, we lost our house to a fire. So it's like when you lose your house to a fire, you're losing everything to start all over again. So, we want to just give our prayers to those families also. There's a lot of things going on. People are passing away. People that are passing away, people are not. If you're taking somebody's life, you're not understanding how deep that hurts the family. Mm-hmm. And the crazy part is street-wise, government-wise, everything is just so ass backwards. The Jellolady and I was talking, and I was talking to a few people on the phone this morning because my phone was blowing up about Booyah. And it's sad because, you find a lot of stuff going on worldwide, not just Burlington County, Camden, just worldwide, period. You find a lot of these people taking people's lives, and they're young, they're young. They're like 15 to 21. They're getting locked up between that age, 15 to 21, taking somebody's life. But the government is so ass backwards that if I go out here and I got Percocets, meth, crack,
Heroin.
heroin. I got all these drugs on. You know, if I get caught with any one of these drugs, I'm going to jail from like 20 to 30 years to life.
Right.
They're giving people life for drugs.
For non-violent drug offenses.
Right. And then, boom, you kill somebody, and some of these people are getting off in 10 years. So when you're looking at a child that's out here wilding out, they're taking somebody's life between the age, you know, the person that's taking the person's life is between the ages of 15 to 21. They have no cares. Like, these children don't have a heart anymore. Like, they've been through, this generation has been through so much that they just don't have a care in the world. And it's really sad that somebody needs to talk. Somebody needs to hold these children. It's something in this generation that we as a community, we as a family, you know, back in the day, they used to say, you know, it takes a village to raise a child. Somewhere in that midst of all of that we were taught, something has gotten missed. And you can take somebody's life and get 10 to 20 years. A child that's taking somebody's life between the ages of 15 to 21, they're not really getting too much time on it. You know, 10 to 20 years, they'll still be out by the time they're 25, 30. But you done took somebody's life and they'll never come back. But this generation it's really sad with this generation, and you know, there's no care. They don't care about anything. It's just like, all right, and boom, I kill you or do something to you and it's just over, and I'm gonna serve my time and I'll be out by the time I'm 25, 30 years old. I still got a whole life to live. Do you really want to look at life that way? Like, that's just not something that you want to pay. You really want to pay attention. You don't want to pay attention to stuff like that. You want to be able to wake up and say, you know what, Jello, I'm happy to see you today.
Right.
And I am very blessed to wake up to my best friend, to my family. They don't look at shit like that no more. It's just like, you know what? You did wrong by me. He said, she said, I heard you did. Boom, I'm going to take the Jellolady's life. Meanwhile, her family is grieving. My family is grieving because I'm the one that took her life, but I'm only 21.
Right.
So when I go to court, I'm getting 10 to 20, but guess what? By the time I get the 10 to 20, I'm 30-something years old, getting out of prison.
Right.
So did I really learn anything? Or is it, or are you making it that society, the government is making it to, you know, making it to the world like it's okay?
Murder is acceptable, is what they're saying.
It's okay. It's okay to go out here and kill somebody. You're only getting 10 years. So what? You're only getting 5 to 10 to kill. Go ahead.
The great thing about it is we get 5 to 10 years for murder, but the cops get off for the same murder.
Right.
And that's where I feel like they feel that like it's balanced. We can give you this many years.
Right.
Because, you know, we still want to get off. We want less time if we do it. So we won't get off, maybe get 2 years probation, 5 years probation.
Right. Especially if it's their first offense.
Right.
If it's your first offense and you kill somebody, then they're going to say, okay, well, boom, 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 work something out. Maybe if you got 5 to 10, you'll serve 10. You might serve 3. And then be home on a bracelet on parole for the rest of your life. And I feel you, Parquet. It is sad and disappointing. And not just that. Yeah, you don't want to raise your kids in this generation. Or you don't want your kids to be part of that generation. So you try your best to like pull them, and you're shielding them. But guess what? We can shield them as much as we can. But one day they got to go outside.
And they got to go outside.
They got to go outside. They got to see the world. So it's like, I shield you from everything. But when you step outside in this thing called world, it'll turn tables on you. So it's like you don't want to blindside your kids to reality, but then you don't want to have your kids get caught up in the bullshit. So it's a bad scale of life. But what these children need to understand is that you're hurting other people. You're going out here and you're doing these things, but you're hurting other people. You're hurting families. You got children. Like I was watching the news today in Philly, it was a total of 4 kids. 4 kids in the last, 4 kids overnight. So we say within the last 24 hours, 48 hours, 4 kids. Every last one of them under the age of 4. 4 years old. Gone. Dead. Straight bullets. They didn't even get to live their life. And all of the one mom, they had interviewed her. 2 of the kids got shot from a stray bullet coming in the house. The other 2, the one little boy, he was outside playing, like just in front of the house or whatever. He got hit. This little girl, she was on her bicycle, riding her bike. Her mom is sitting on the porch. She said all of a sudden a car started, and she said the cars was popping at each other. Like somebody was out, somebody's behind the other car, and they're both shooting at each other in the cars. And boom, this baby gets hit. And she was only 3. This baby just started learning how to ride her bike.
Right. She's
like these other 2 were in their house minding their business.
Don't even got nothing to do with it.
You want to shoot? You want to do all this stuff? Go to a park.
Like, they have gun ranges for that. Like, if you want to shoot, that's what they're for.
But if you feel like you got that type of beef and you want to take somebody's life, then go somewhere, go on the moon or something like that and go do that.
Right.
Don't do that where you're taking innocent bystanders' lives. Like, this is sad and it's becoming a norm.
Yeah. It's definitely a normal
and
thing now.
It's
not it's disgusting when it's normal.
Right, because that wasn't normal for us when we came up.
The normalcy of it all is so disheartening, and it makes you sick on the inside.
Right. And you don't know what to do anymore because the norm that is not our norm. Like, that is not supposed to be normal. When we were coming up, the norm was grandma passed away, pop, auntie, but they were old people.
Right.
So it's like, oh, I'm going to miss grandma, but damn, grandma was 80-something years old. Grandma was 100-something years old. Like
they lived
pop, auntie, uncle, cousins, they were all old people. I never heard of this many
the babies, like all
people
babies,
dying.
Like young people, babies. It's disgusting. Like, these are people that never got a chance to even become people. Some of them haven't hit puberty yet. Like, they don't know who they're going to become.
You're talking 4 kids under the age of 4.
And that's just awful.
Under the age of 4. Now you have our age group dying quick.
Mm-hmm.
People are every time you turn around, it's somebody calling. Like today with this situation, and then I get a call from my cousin that my other cousin passed away. Like, then I got a call that 2 of the veterans from our VFW passed away, and it's but they are veterans,
right?
These are older people.
Look, they have lived through wars and famine, and depression.
Not when we're in our 30s, 40s, and we're having a funeral because you decided to come and shoot me dead.
Right.
But it's not cool for this situation to be a normal thing. This is not normal, ladies and gentlemen. This is not something that we should be getting used to. Just get a phone call like, yo, you heard about, such and such. And then the news, I thought about you today. And I thought about like people like Parquet, just everybody that we conversate with, and how people be like, I don't watch the news no more. It's depressing. I'm sitting there at 3:30 in the morning watching the news.
Yeah, depressed.
And I'm like, I had to turn it off.
Right.
I'm like, well, damn.
They don't do that. But
shooting over here, and this person was shot. 4 kids dead. This da-da-da-da-da. Drive by. Da-da-da-da-da. Then I seen something on Facebook where Trendsetter, one of our family members here at WCMD, she had put up something where somebody got killed in Camden it was like I don't know if it was a corner store, a bar, but it sat right there on the corner, and she was like, please check your people. Check on your folks or whatever. So it was like,
yeah.
It's overwhelming. Like, this is not normal, people. You need to. We all, not you, just you guys. Everybody needs to come together as a collective.
Their strength and unity. It has to be a collective,
right? And sit down and grab these kids. The problem too is some people are scared of these kids. Now I ain't gonna be walking around scared of no child, but at the same time, I ain't willing to die for me saying, "Listen, young man, let's sit down and talk. Let's figure this out." And you can, and he get mad at me and pop my ass. That's not what we're gonna do.
Right.
But it's sad that you gotta have a balance. Like our generation, it was no balance. Either listen, you gonna listen to an adult,
and that's it.
And that's it. Like, okay, you always, you always had that one adult that maybe that auntie, cousin, uncle that was cool that you could always talk to and be like, you can vent. It's not like being a teenager and being able to vent. So venting is cool, but being as though that you're venting, that doesn't mean you're venting to me and then you're gonna turn around and pop my ass. Like that's and then you see that, like, where parents are scared. You got those 2 twin girls that killed their mom. Like these kids are scared.
I'm gonna tell you why parents are scared. Parents are scared because the state decided they didn't want to mind their own business.
That part.
Okay, let's just put that all the way out there. It is the state's fault.
Right.
There should have been. These children are products of their parents. Mm-hmm. They are their parents' responsibility. So for you to say, I can't discipline my child the way I want to discipline my child the way I see fit, that is wrong of you. You should not be in my business like that. Because guess what you're not doing? You're not preparing my child for this world. You're preparing my child to be incarcerated.
Right.
That was your whole point. This is your whole point of the whole system. Mm-hmm. You want to incarcerate my kid. I'm trying to keep
or incarcerate them in school, because now they're not even.
They're not. It's schools, not. They're institutions.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? When I walked in, when's the last time you've been to Willingboro High?
Girl. Inside the building.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while.
Last time I went to that high school, which was Hannah be out of school for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a prison. It's just walls.
Yeah.
Like when we were going to school, it was decorated. It was art. Yes. It was good morning.
Yeah,
like we walked into school and it's good morning. Good morning. Have a very blessed day. Have a good day today. I'll see you in class today. Right?
Yeah.
It's not like
there is no engagement. There is none of that.
No, because people are scared, and you can't really blame them in one way. But in another way, I'm not gonna walk around here
scared of nobody's child.
Scared of no child. But guess what? I ain't willing to die trying to have a conversation with you either. I'm sorry.
Listen.
That slick mouth, and these kids got some nasty mouths.
Right.
And then you turn around, and I think it's not even a part of us being scared or nobody's being scared. It's just like,
I'm scared of what I'm gonna do to somebody's kid.
The hell with that. These kids is bound to do something to you. Listen. Like that's just what it is. They're running around here, and as soon as somebody says something, like there was something in Philly, a corner store man. They had that on the news. Corner store man gets killed by a child. Now the kid was 16. The man didn't even do nothing to the boy. He just told him pull his pants up. You know what he did? He pulled his pants up all right, but he pulled his piece out and popped this man in the head. For somebody, you know how many times somebody done told you that day, throughout that day, to pull your pants up?
Right.
And you go to this corner and you blow this man's head off? For
pants.
Saying, "Yo, look, young man, pull your pants up." And you pull your pants up, but you pull out.
Yeah. That's the reason why your pants was hanging in the first place.
Right. But some of them don't even have nothing, Yeah, but it's just sad because you have, and the worst part about it is they're not just getting all these guns from their generation.
No.
Okay? No. They're getting, these guns is coming from our generation. No, these guns is coming, they're the old us. You got people our age that are selling these kids guns. Mm-hmm. So it's like, how do you balance that out? But I'm not going to sit there and go toe to toe and argue with no child, and then they turn around. I'm not scared of you. I'm not going to ever be scared of a child. But I'm not. It's not my time yet. How about that? And I got enough common sense to say, you know what? You got it. I'm gone. I'm not going to sit there and go toe to toe, and then next thing I know, you pulling out and shooting at me.
Right.
So a lot of people will say, I ain't playing with nobody's kid. I'll smack the hell out of somebody's kid, or I'll do this and I'll do that. Yeah, you can say whatever you want to say. But when it comes down to that day, that minute, and that child pulls out on you because maybe you said something to that child and just said, young man, can you please watch your mouth? Like, it's a bunch of adults standing here and you're just cussing and fussing and you don't have no respect. This is somebody's grandparents.
Right.
And you turn around and tell me I ain't got to do shit. Guess what Cha-Cha's doing? Okay, you ain't got to say shit. You ain't got to do shit. Okay, Cha-Cha's getting in her damn car and that's y'all problem now. Because the way these kids is built, I'm not getting my life taken from nobody's child. And even if you don't take my life, I'm not willing to feel the burn of a pistol.
Right.
I'm just not. Or you stabbing me up. Like, these kids are going bonkers. Like, and we can't just keep pointing the finger because every time you point your finger, you got 3 pointing back at you. So it's just not them. They have a mental state that you don't know what these children are going through or where they came from or how things are going. I remember like there was these children that I had met, and this was years ago. This was like 4 or 5 years ago, and they were from Camden. And the little boy, he came here, and it was a whole bunch of kids. But we was all sitting here talking and whatever, and he began to tell that he's running electric from his neighbor's house. His mom was on drugs. The dad don't be around. So he was only at that time, he's got to be like 18. So at that time he was only like 15 years old. He had 4 younger siblings that he was taking care of. It's things like that you wouldn't even know that this little boy is going through. He's running electric. He's doing this. He's doing that. It's like a lot going on in his little life.
Yeah.
And what does he do? He's stressed out. Mom not around. Mom coming in and out, but there's constantly seeing mom high. So that's a stress point. Then you have, I'm only 14, 15. I'm taking care of all 4 of my siblings, including me. It's 5.
There's 5 people I'm taking care of, and 6 if you could include my mom, but still got to take care of.
Yeah, because she's a crackhead.
So when she come in here, I still got to make sure she's cool. Does she eat? That stress.
Passes out, throwing up. It's different being with having a parent an alcoholic parent. Some of these children, mental is really screwed up. So it's like, they never had the chance to sit and talk to anybody and have somebody talk to them with common sense and not be scared to say, listen, young man, hey, how about we go about it this way? But then you find that they get depressed, like sitting down talking to some of the kids throughout my life, they get depressed because then it's like you have that one person that says, I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to always be here. And they get too tied up into their lives, not understanding that you told this child you was going to constantly be there. So now, not only has this child not had a father, mom is on drugs, you step in, you promise this child whatever that you're not going anywhere, you're going to stick in their lives. But things get overwhelming for you as just a human being. And now there goes another depression in this child's life because they thought they could talk and be with you. But now they can't even do nothing. Now they're back at that dark space in life. Mm-hmm. And that's what a lot of these children are. They're in dark spaces where some of them you can get out of it, but then sometimes it's a little too late because they're already hurt and depressed and going through a state of mind that they just gave up. And it's like, well, you wasn't there when I was doing it, or you said you was going to be there and you not there. So now I'm doing this by myself. So that's why you catch a lot of these kids saying, I'm grown. These kids will tell you they grown at 12. I'm grown. You grown?
Grown where? Where did you grow?
But guess what?
You grew out of some pants. You grew?
Yeah, but guess what? They grown.
Right.
You can't really argue with them if they telling you, listen, I'm grown. I'm cooking 4-course meals. I'm 12. Yeah. I take care of my siblings. I'm running electric from my next door neighbor's house to make sure my siblings is good. Yeah. I'm boiling water on the stove to make sure we can take baths. can you really argue with them
No.
and say, I'm not, oh, you're not grown.
can't
You're
do
not
that.
paying no bills. No, while mom's got Section 8,
Right.
rent probably $8.
Right.
So she on drugs. So that she making sure that $8 is paid, but the rest of that money that she getting, that's her. Now you got people coming, giving groceries, community event, community outreach stuff. Like, come on, like, it's kind of sad, and it's like you can't help every child, but if everybody out here can at least help 1 to 2 children and be there for them mentally, physically, and be able to like guide them in another direction, at least you can say, I saved 1. I saved 2. But now it's at the point where people just turn their heads, like nobody wants to be involved.
Yeah.
Because it'd be too much drama. You trying to step in and help somebody, and then you got that one family member with that mouth.
Yeah.
And then you be like, you know what? I ain't got to go through this.
Right.
So guess what? You don't mean to hurt the children or whoever you're helping in that house, but hey, what you unbalanced my situation. So now it's like, I can't go over there. I can't deal with this person because you got auntie over there with this slick ass mouth over da 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 da, and I'm busy putting groceries and trying to help these children and trying to help the family.
Picked up her fingers to do nothing.
But got so much to say and then chase me the hell away because I ain't got time for the nonsense.
Right. Can't have mouth almighty and not have a dollar to back it up.
Right. So it's kind of like, it's sad. It's so sad. And it's like, I'm telling you, when I was looking at the news today and I'm just hearing like this person, that person, these babies, and this teenager and over here. And then when I went, I spoke about this before when I went to the police station one time and I was talking to some officers and they were telling me like between the ages of 13, before that, so they said that they're locking up kids before they even turn 18 for murders. 21, they made it. At least they made it to 21. They seen their 21st birthday and they made it. But other than that, they taking you out. They taking you out. And it's sad. It's so overwhelming and it breaks your heart. Like it's not the type of situation that you can just be like, oh well, it ain't me, it ain't my kid. It doesn't have to be your kid. It doesn't have to be your kid. You have to have some type of heart. Yeah, not me. I'm never scared. That's the truth. That's right. It's the truth. And I know you ain't never scared, but the problem is that I'm not scared. But guess what? I'm be very cautious about what and who I'm speaking to because these kids, I'm not ready to get shot nowhere. I don't care if you're not taking my life. I'm just not ready for that. That's not in my book. It's not in my book to die by a bullet. That's not going to be it. It's not in my book to be stabbed. That's just not in my book. And I'm not going to go out like that. So if I can avoid the situation and say, you know what, young man, you got it, and I'm going to keep it moving, then that's just what I'm going to have to do. But it's terrible. It's terrible. Like just to close your eyes and remember where you came from. And then think about what this generation is doing. It's scary. It's just like the Bible says, the world is coming to an end one day, where you're going to see people dying. You're going to see all these things going on and hurtful things. The food is deleting. The food price is going up.
Look, the price
like,
is go up.
Yeah, like all this stuff is in the Bible. Like all of this stuff is going on in the Bible. Learn how to feed off the earth and learn how to do this. But where's the respect? Where you're trying to tell these kids to learn to do this and learn to do that. Teachers. Some of these teachers are just as wild as these kids. Absolutely. And then you got some of these teachers having sex with some of these kids. So yeah, you run around talking about you grown, but guess what? You can't tell me not grown because he getting some grown Miss Precious. You throwing it on him. You like 30-something years old, but you got this little boy in the janitor's closet and you doing it to him. There's no balance. It's like the devil is working fast and hard.
Yeah.
There's really nothing that you can possibly do if you're the one putting all of you're putting these children in this position to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm grown. Yeah, I'm gonna go bust her ass. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Reality is if you don't take a step back and try to figure things out and just give a hug to one of these kids. Just if you even went outside and went like this, it's like, come here, let me give you a hug. They look at you like you crazy, like a hug.
Yeah, they don't know what hugs are.
They don't know what a mud put just the boo. Just come and lay right here and let me rub you. Let me give you some attention. Let me sit down and have a personal conversation with you. Let me see what's going through your mind. Nobody is challenging these kids at all. There's no challenge. The challenge is guess what? It's quick to be a drug dealer. It's quick money. At the same time of you being a drug dealer, you need to carry a gun. This is the things that they're learning. So don't let nobody disrespect you. But disrespect to them comes in all type of ways.
Right.
Like, that wasn't disrespectful that corner man said, hey, pull your pants up, and you turn around and blast this man in his head. That's not reality. That's not, yeah. So it's like you try your best. It's so many different community programs out here. You try to help them. You try to do whatever you can, but guess what? It's like each one teach one. But you're always going to lose. You're going to lose 1, 2, 3. You're going to lose them.
Yeah, because first of all, you got to look at the people who are teaching, because they're getting taught that it's easier to be outside on the streets, on these corners. It's easy to go, like you said.
Yeah, because they're saying the local old head drug dealers.
Right.
Which your ass should be in the house.
Right. As old as you is in the house.
You ain't supposed to be 40, 50 years old selling dimes, okay?
No.
Meanwhile, you got these kids on the block, you hand them a gun and show them to be the perfect drug dealer.
And that's the thing. They're learning the disrespect. It's a perpetuated cycle, and nobody wants to break it, because the way society is set up, it's the easiest and most lucrative way to make money without being taxed for it.
Right.
Like, kids aren't trying to go to work. They do be trying to go to work. You know, when they turn 16, they get their first little license. You know, get their first little working papers and go to work, get their first little job. That first paycheck comes. First question out of every kid's mouth when they get their first paycheck: who's FICA? Who's that? Why am I paying them? Why are they taking so much of my money?
Right.
I've worked all these hours. I expected my check to be this. Oh, well, yeah.
Taxes.
The tax man came. Okay. The tax
Came
man
knock on your door.
The tax man coming and the money goes.
Right.
And it goes even before you get it. So you ain't even gonna miss it.
Right.
But when you see your uncle on the corner and every dollar he take in goes into his pocket and can't nobody tell him what to do with his money, I'm sorry, it's hard.
Yeah, but being a drug dealer comes with
a cost.
It comes with charges.
Look, it comes at a price, and that's the thing. I would rather pay the taxes because it's cheaper than the lawyer fees.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's cheaper than commissary. Okay. It's cheaper than the phone calls. Okay. Yeah. The phone was when you add all that up.
But you got to think.
But that's
you're not paying for that. I'm paying for that. No. When you get locked the hell up, whoever is out on the outside
is paying
for your lawyer fees, for your commissary, all that, your phone calls, you calling my phone, because you can't call my phone if I ain't got no money on my phone. So now I'm spending $100, $200 to put some minutes on my phone to talk to you. So technically, when you're locked up, you're free. But you're living for free.
Yeah, you living for free.
Because my tax money is paying for you to be in jail.
To get $2.37 a day?
I don't know what it is. I ain't never been. I don't want to go.
No, I mean, but that's literally, I think it's up to like $2.
Yeah, but you still living for free. You got a hot meal 3 times.
So you get 3 hots in the cot and a shower.
You got all this for free.
And you got cable.
Right.
Because the jail's got cable now, like it's a luxury.
Cable, you can even get a TV.
Right.
You can live in jail like you living in the street.
Yeah, like you live outside. You got your own personal.
So it's like
you paying rent.
Yeah, you see some people that be like, man, fuck that, it's getting cold outside. I'm going back.
Yeah, I'm about to go commit a crime, so I can go back.
Yeah, steal somebody's car and get out the car like, yeah, I stole it.
Right.
I'm cool. All right, I'm going to jail. All right, they're gonna give me about 6 months. That 6 months is the whole winter.
Look, 6 months.
You get out now. You barbecuing it up, and then when September start getting a little cold, your ass go back in. Like it's terrible. Like you're not nobody is thinking about a bad cycle.
Nobody wants to break the cycle because nobody knows what's on the other side of it.
Right.
Like, and that's what you have to do. You have to break the cycle of pattern of behavior and be just whatever's on the other side. You have to just accept it. Like, you can't be afraid of what's on the other side.
Right. Right. So it's first of all, what we need to understand, and what these children need to understand is fast money goes fast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As fast as you get as fast as you
it goes right on out because you got to think you might have made $1,000. You've been hustling all day. You made $1,000. What you gonna do after that? In the midst of that, you're hungry. Now everybody's partying. They're going to the local bar. You're spending your money at the bar and you're eating. And now some of your peoples that came in, you flossing, you buying them drinks. Yeah. The money that the little $1,000 that you made that day, that's gone.
Yeah.
By the time you get drunk, you ever just get intoxicated, be all drunk, and then wake up and be like, God damn, shit.
Mm-hmm. Where's the money done?
Yeah. Now you was being I've never done it because I take a certain amount with me and that's it. I don't need a bunch of liquor, and I'm not going out here to splurge out on nobody to buy a whole bar full of people drinks. But this is what y'all do, and you got these kids hanging in front of these bars, or not even in front of them. Some of them are in the bar.
Right.
Some of them are in the bar. That's why they think they're your equal, because they're you letting them party with you. And that's where some of these parents go wrong too. Let's why we don't have me going out and you going out is cool when you're a certain age. But me going out and seeing you in the same bar and you coming in there like, what's up, Ma? Nah, that ain't it. That's not what we gonna do. Now I don't mind going, my kids is grown. So if I go to the bar with my daughter or something, it's respectful.
She's an adult.
But it's still no. She's not an adult. She's only 22. She's not an adult, but it's still a respect level.
Adult, she's old enough to be in the bar. She's not like she's 16.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's still a respect level. You got kids. I know kids that go to the bars with their parents and they are Hannah's age. Yeah, no. And I'll see them in there and their conversation in just everything with the mom, daughter, son, dad, whatever child you out with, it's like that's your home girl. Yeah, that's your man. This my son. Come on, let's go get to the bar. Let's take a. And now you wondering why your son is jumping, flinching at you like, nigga, I'll pop you.
Right. What's up, Jay?
Like it's just so it's so crazy. Like you open that door. If you're gonna open that door and you're gonna say, "Come on, let's just go ahead, let's go have something to eat and have a drink." Cool, you grown, but let's go out to eat, party together until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and that's where they feel like they're your equal. So now it's like you getting a little. You go to tell that kid to do something, and they looking at you like, "Who you talking to?" I was talking to you, but I'm going to show you something different. I'm going to go up top on you. So I was talking to you. But now you got the kids where they don't have no fear. So now we're having no fear. What they going to do? They're going to fight you. Now you got your daughter or your son. Now they think that they're your equal and now they fighting you. Like, no, because you never put any type of boundaries in the situation.
Yeah. And that's really where it all amounts to. Like, there has to be boundaries. And I feel like the state crossed the line coming into the home to tell parents how to discipline their children. And then because the parents, they felt like they no longer had control. Now it's like, okay, well, the state has control. I can't do X, Y, Z because the state's going to step in and do this because I'm trying to discipline my kid. Now what do? My hands are tied, my back's against the wall, and I'm scared because I'm going to go to jail if I discipline my kid.
Yeah, you are going to jail.
Like, what type of craziness is that? You're not going to tell me.
You can only beat your child with an open hand from the waist down.
Okay.
That's what the rules are. If you cannot smack that child in the face. If you beat your child, you're not supposed to beat your child with a belt. You're supposed to beat him with an open hand. Yeah. So you want me to red my hand up? And ain't nothing like smacking somebody and you can feel that burn on your hand. You be like, I know you felt it because I felt it.
Okay, listen.
But you're right, because now it's like, oh, okay, you call me to the school to discipline my child. My child get in trouble. I come up there, I'm blacking out. I grab my kid, snatch him by his neck. Boom, next thing I know, I turn around, diapers is called on me.
No, I'm getting straight down here.
So why the hell you call me in here?
What you call me for?
Oh, they're in here acting up. He's calling me all type of B's, or she's calling me all this, and she's doing this, and he's doing that. But just like Jellolady said, when the parent steps in and go do something, here come the state. Like, oh no, you cannot do that to this child.
Right. But you know what the state ain't doing? Y'all ain't taking care of these kids neither. You putting them in group homes and facilities, asking for state money to fund them, but nobody is caring for these kids. You are setting them up to go into these.
Yeah, and then and then whoever adopts this child or wherever the state is going to put this child, they get paid.
They only doing it for the check.
Yeah, they get paid. You getting paid like almost $1,500 to take in a foster kid. And that foster kid don't even belong to you. Right. You're just taking them in for a little while. Now, if you decide to be that great person and take that child in and adopt that child, that's another story. Then your check stops.
Right.
But when you got people out here just, you don't really care for the kid. You care for that check.
You mean like people keeping their fosters in foster care even though they're over the age of fostering so that they can get Section 8? Them type of people, those the people you talk about?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. Make sure we talk about the same.
Because the sad part about the state is once that child turns 18, that child is on its own. That's the sad part. Mm-hmm. You can go ahead and have this child in your custody, government custody. You have this child from the age of, let's say, even at 3. From 3 to 18, soon as that child hit 18, guess what? Boom, he's on the streets. They had a program about that on Fox 29 News, where the children, they was looking around when the weather was bad, when the weather was really, really bad, when they found a lot of the bums frozen outside. They were talking to a lot of kids just running up on people. Some of these kids was like 17, 18 years old, where the state had kicked them out because they can no longer take care of them because now they took in about 25 more kids. Right. So because they 17 and they're about to turn 18 in a month, they kick them out.
Right.
Like that's.
But then you
got more homeless.
No, but then you don't prepare them because at the age of 18 they become eligible for benefits, but nobody tells them that, so they end up homeless for no reason. Right, Jay. Right.
That is so right.
That's absolutely the truth.
Yep. Because especially with the foster, they know you can't put your hands on them.
Right.
They know that from the door. What? Put your hands on me if you want. I'm calling, but you're not doing anything but hurting yourself because they're not going to do that. But come here, take you out of my home, put you in somewhere else, put you in. You're just going to keep moving. But the other part of it is it's so sad because you don't know the history of where these children come from. Some of these kids
have been abused, right?
Bad.
Like, there's a difference between discipline and abuse.
Right.
Okay. Now, my form of discipline might not be your form of discipline, but it still doesn't constitute abuse.
Right.
Like, I'm not out here every day beating my kid, but if my kid do something wrong,
I'm gonna smack the hell out of you.
The punishment is going to fit the crime.
Yeah, I'm gonna smack the hell out of you.
Like, that's just it.
If I don't drag you.
Right.
Call the cops.
Whatever you got to do.
Yeah, because guess what? Nobody's going to take care of you the way I take care of you.
Right.
That's just how it is. I whoop ass. That's how you got, and
that's what you gotta do.
Yeah, but then you got where you whoop the ass, you do all this, and like Jellolady said, then all of a sudden here goes, oh well, I know I talked to your parent yesterday, teacher.
Right.
So did you get in trouble? Like what happened? Let that child say, yeah, I got a beating with a belt. Principal such and such, please, I need you down here. We need to talk. Oh, call diapers in. Here comes the police. Then you want to call. But then you just had me at this damn school for 4 hours.
Right.
Because you said my child was disrespecting everybody and fighting and doing all this stuff. And now you got me up here and now you're going to call diapers on me? Mm-hmm. Y'all not going to take care of it.
Nope.
But like you said, they got people's hands tied now. Because I know for me, it wasn't nothing like a switch. Wasn't nothing like a belt. You wasn't no called diapers.
I was all.
I remember hearing about diapers when I might have been in like the 6th grade,
yeah, like
6th, 7th grade. But that's when they first started. Our generation of parents was like, I don't know what the hell they telling you that for, because you call them, I'm gonna beat the hell out of you. Watch until they get here. I'm gonna beat you out of here.
Right, and then they can take you.
And then they can take you. By the time this state come, you like, oh hell no! Like I want to stay home. All right, I'll take this ass.
Like, yeah, listen, because all it takes is for that one trip to the group home, and you realize that you want on a 12 by 12 a little cot with a little mat, what is that? A gym mat on it, like
right. This is your life.
I just left a queen size bed in a room with dressers and a closet and the TV. Now I'm in here with this girl I don't know who smells like egg salad, and I'm supposed to just be like in here.
But like Jarrell. Like Jay said, and that's true, because back in the day, that's the first thing your parents used to say. You get your ass whooped, guess what? Whatever goes on in my house stays in my house.
Right.
Everybody knows that saying.
Right.
But you got stupid people.
Right.
Or you got just a bunch of hate. A bunch of hate that will be like, or you know what I don't like about diapers either? I can call right now, and we can call diapers right now. And I can say, yeah, I need you to go to, I don't know, to Jay's house. He's abusing all his kids. Knowing all of Jay's kids is grown but his son.
Right.
Now he got all these girls.
Right.
And he got a baby son. Oh, yeah, he got all these kids and he's beating them and he's doing all this. And I hang up. Anonymous caller.
Right.
They gonna pull up at Jay's house.
Yes.
And want to check his refrigerator and this and that. They're going to question his kid. Wait a minute, we heard you had kids.
Yeah,
no, I only got a child. The rest of my kids are grown with their own lives and own children. But I don't like that part either about diapers. Like they can just, anybody can call. Yeah, anybody can call, make a report about you, and you at my front damn door. I can be a millionaire. These kids got everything.
And then the case has, even with any allegation, with the case has to stay for what, 30 days?
Yeah, 60. 60 to 90 days.
Right. So now you're in my life, in my business.
Right.
Watching me go to work, watching me come home, watching to see what time I leave and come back.
Questioning my child.
Questioning my kid, watching to see if I got a babysitter. Like, that's dumb.
Jay said he blames the internet.
Yeah, we definitely really knew nothing about diapers.
We didn't.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I really, truly still don't know nothing about diapers. That is none of it. Look.
I remember hearing about diapers. Yeah, I remember hearing, like in the 6th, 7th grade. I remember hearing about this stuff, but diapers. They were stranger dangers. That's like, what is the code for you to pick me up? You know what I mean? Is it banana, apple, banana? Like we all had these codes. What's the code word? Like, nah, lady, you ain't touching me.
Right.
Call my dad. Call my mom. Call somebody because you don't got the code. You ain't got the code word. I'm not getting in your car, and you're not touching me.
No.
That's just how it was for all of us. Like, you don't get in a strange car.
No.
If the car pull up and call your name and say, hey, Jellolady, get in the car. Do you have a code? My mom and dad told you to pick me up? Oh, did they? So what's the code? Like, I mean, it's just corny shit like that.
Listen.
But it's things that we were grown up with. Like, there's passcodes to this. Where now it's like you can just call and say, "Listen, I'm gonna just have Jane Rain come pick my son up. No ID, no nothing. I could be a total stranger or just trying to just a pervert. and that person can call the school and say, listen, I'm coming to pick up such and such, and make it see. And we did it. We did it when it used to be, or you can do that shit now when you don't feel like going to work.
Right.
Hey, yeah, this is Jellady's mother, and I'm just telling you, she does not feel good right now. So we're going to take her to the doctors, but right now she's laying down, she can't come to work right. We do that on a daily.
Bye, Jay.
Bye. We do that on a daily.
Right.
So if we can do it, why is it like y'all don't check anything?
Yeah, there's no verification.
Y'all don't check nothing. And then you treat, and like going back to the school, then you look at it, the kids is treated like prisoners, like you said.
Right.
In order to go to school, you have to go through a metal detector.
You got to go through the metal detector. But even like with the classes, like you're in class a certain amount of time, and then you have a certain amount of time to get to class. That is like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like
so
the
it's
transition of it all, like that. It's so institutional. It's made that way. It's designed to be like that. It's disgusting.
Right.
But nobody puts two and two together. Because even if you look at the way the buildings are designed, like the outside, the structure of the building,
it looks like a prison.
It's like a prison.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, none of that is even. The whole system just needs to be completely torn apart.
And start from the beginning.
I feel like we should go back to governing our own selves.
Oh, I thought you was about to say paddles and stuff, because I remember my mom and them said that back in the day it used to, you get
the paddle.
You get the paddle.
Yeah.
Now we wasn't playing no paddle. Like I don't know about all that.
I didn't. Yeah.
But you know what? Back then, look at how they are. Look at how they are.
Right.
And no matter if it's the worst crackhead, guess what? He has respect.
Right. Corporal punishment is a plus to me.
But can you just imagine somebody come by, bow?
Girl, remember the little boy back in the day who went over to Singapore and was messing with the cars and they caned him?
Yeah, they stoned him.
No, they caned him.
They caned him. They was going to stone him.
They was going to stone him, but instead they chose to cane him.
Right.
Listen.
But see, that's what you get for messing with people's countries.
Look, but that's what you get for messing with people's stuff.
Right.
Okay, you just think you're going to go over there and steal somebody's car.
But see, the other
thing is wrong.
It is wrong, but you got to watch out for the rules in these different countries.
Oh,
that's why so many people.
If you go to the American countries and you steal something, they cut your hand off.
Yes, tongue, you lie.
That.
I seen one video where the kid had got, these Muslims was not playing. This child got a C on his report card. They hung his tail upside down in their house, and all the men beat this little boy while he's hanging.
Oh, well, that's a lot.
By his feet. His feet. But you got to think, America, we have a lot of freedom. We have we got too much.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's too much freedom for some of these people. Some people can't handle freedom. So you got all this freedom. They can come and go when they please. They do what they want. Say what they want.
All of these things.
The kids is in school for what?
8 hours.
8 hours. So the teacher pretty much has your child for the whole day.
Right.
You only have your child by the time your child gets home, they're showering and going to bed.
Homework, and then
if you got them in the after school program, then you really only got them for 2 hours out the day.
Right.
You got them that morning when you wake them up, and 2 hours when it's time for them to go to bed, and you have the weekend.
Right.
But in America, our children get to have spring break and summer break, 2.5, 3 months off at school, and 2 weeks off of school, and all of this. Go over here and see what happens over here. Okay, these kids overseas and stuff, they got 2 weeks of summer vacation. They in school all year round.
Yeah, and I think I think that's the best system.
Yes, I think that if they do something like that, maybe it'll be more structure. It's structure. It shows them something in their life.
Structure, but like for the amount of time wasted being out of school, there are so many more things that these kids could be learning. Because I'm not going to lie, our education system is crap. Okay, we are not learning basic life skills in school. Okay, not at all. They're not even remotely thinking about teaching it. Anything that taught us remotely taught us life skills is gone out of the curriculum.
Yeah,
there is no home ec class. There is no technology class. Like, there is none of these things that are preparing people to be in the world.
Oh, girl,
you're getting prepared for incarceration.
Right. But then they're not pushing the kids to even act like they want to do something in these schools.
Because they're preparing them for incarceration.
So it's like,
teachers ain't getting paid
like,
enough.
prime example, Willowboro High. Not just, you got a lot, I'm just not going to say Willowboro, but you got a lot of schools like Willowboro High that has pulled a lot of stuff. They just put cosmetology back in about 3 years ago. Cosmetology was out of the school district for about 4.5, 5 years. Yeah. They still have culinary. Mm-hmm. Culinary never left. No. They never left. But there's no more TV. No. There's no more you can learn how to childcare. There was all type of programs. They don't have it. ROTC. Gone. If you don't have at least 100 kids in ROTC, the program will pull itself. Yeah. Some of these schools don't have the ROTC program anymore because the kids are not interested.
Not only are they not interested, like, you have to understand, when it comes to these teachers, the system is so broken that the teachers have to provide for their classes. These are, and that's the, I think it's the most asinine thing to me.
It is.
When my sister said she was paying for her own school supplies, I was like, you're doing what? Isn't that what we pay for? What are the school taxes?
No, just that. Let's not forget that when you go to school, when you go to take your child to school and it's the first day, you got to buy everything. They're asking you for wipes. They're asking you for toilet paper. Yes. They're asking you, not just your regular pencils, pens, books. Oh, she needs a book for math, science. Not just that. You have to have tissues, all type of stuff. And then again,
it's
ridiculous.
I'm asking the same question. Where the hell is the school tax money going? Because they are killing you with school tax. School tax is like what, $25?
Yeah, but then and it's sad because if I don't have no kids in school, why the hell am I still paying taxes? And my kids have been out of school for 30 years.
Okay, listen.
But they're bored. So what do you do when you're bored? Even when we were coming up, when you were bored, what did you do? You got into something. Right. Whether it was, I don't know, because I ain't do a lot. I had a slick mouth and I did things, but I ain't never colored on walls and dumb shit like that. I ain't played it. I can't. No.
I wasn't trying to get a beat.
But you get bored. You know what I mean? So now the school districts are not putting they're pulling sports.
Right. You're not giving.
They're pulling this. They're pulling that. There's nothing for them to do. So what does it leave them to do? To get in trouble.
Right.
So now you have this person. Now you're just not assaulting. Like, what happened to putting a person in the middle, in a circle, lock arms, let them get it in until they tired?
Right.
What happened to just getting a fair one?
Right.
Or like we was talking about last week, knocking my mama off the bridge.
Right.
What happened to that type of stuff? There was no such. That was unheard of. That you heard of a gun being in your school.
Let me tell you what happened to that, and I'm just making this real plain on how this happened. Parents are no longer allowed to discipline. Therefore, kids are now no longer afraid of getting beat. So now we out here. I'm afraid to fight because when we was kids, mom was like, "Listen,
take your ass back out. Don't you come in my house beat up.
Like, don't you come in here beat up. You got to go out there and defend yourself. You have to be able to take care of yourself." Now parents can't send you out to do that. You can't. Right. You can't do that. Listen, my mom came to the school and was like, "Listen, if anybody got a problem with my kid, here's our address and our phone numbers. Call and schedule an appointment. That way, nobody has to get suspended. Right. And y'all can fight it out, do whatever y'all got to do, and y'all come back to school and do what y'all got to do in school the next day." But it was all about not getting suspended. Like, kids are now afraid to get beat. Like, you're afraid to get a beat, and like you're afraid to get beat up on. Like, it happens. Everybody takes the L. Right. And you come back. You defended yourself. Good. You got beat up. So what? But you still here the next day. But kids now are afraid to take that L.
Beat up. It's no beat up. You gonna pop. They gonna
pop you because they're afraid to fight.
And I ain't cool with getting popped.
And I feel like, kids are afraid to fight now.
They are.
They're afraid to fight because at the end of the day, listen, your parents didn't beat you. So you have no idea what it feels like to get hit.
But even if you did get beat, they still not scared. It's like after a while, you keep beating on a child. they get used to it.
Right.
So now it's like,
but what I'm saying is,
all right, you can punch me in my face, but guess what? I'm gonna walk out of here and I'm gonna go punch somebody else in their face,
right?
Or I'm gonna shoot somebody. Like
right.
That's their mental. Like that is something different because there's nothing keeping them busy.
Right. There's nothing
keeping them busy. The school district don't care.
Townships ain't got nothing.
They don't. Certain people just don't care. You can say, oh, we're gonna help Johnny, but Susie looks like she's more interested. But Johnny can be smart as hell.
Yeah, but Johnny's not interested.
But you're not tapping into Johnny.
Yeah, you're not
tapping into his mind, and he's bored.
And a lot of it is the curriculum that is given. A lot of these teachers just take it as it's given and just give it back to them. Not just that,
and then the curriculum is retarded.
Right.
Because you got, like, I can use Cherish, for example.
Right.
Like, this baby is in the 1st grade. She's learning calculus.
Right.
Like, why is she in the 1st grade learning this? But when you look at overseas children,
that's what they're learning.
But then you can't bring that over here and then think that, oh, she's not catching on.
Yeah, no, she's not supposed to.
She's not supposed to catch on. But if she's
supposed to be in ABCs, 1, 2, 3, small words,
right.
4-letter words, 5-letter words at the most, adding and subtracting. Right. We got the multiplication and division yet. Like, y'all are doing the most. And for me, I feel as though it's like us as a country is trying to be something that we're not, instead of being who we are supposed to be.
I think it's more of money.
Yeah,
it's a money situation.
It's all about money, because
it's not even about nobody being who they want to be. It's not about our country.
The
money is important.
Look, money is not only is the money important, but the money that should be there, funding all of this stuff that they claim we have no money for, it's there. It's in somebody's pocket.
All day. Okay. We split that 20,000, 50, 50.
Right.
And then who cares? All right, Johnny gonna end up in jail. April gonna be a whore.
Look, we gonna get more money from putting them in and out of jail.
Cause you find more kids now, like, they're so bored, they're having sex in school.
Right. There's nothing else to do.
I wasn't even thinking about sex when I was in high school. None of that. Memorial.
None of that.
We wasn't thinking about that. No. You might play hide and go get it.
Right.
Nigga knock. Something crazy like hide and go seek.
Yeah, but we out here.
I wasn't out here having sex.
No.
In school.
No.
Inside the bathroom.
No.
You getting head.
In the bathroom.
Like, yes.
No. Back hallways and all that weirdness. No. Yeah.
But nobody cares, because now it's like everybody, all these teachers, not all of them. I'm gonna say some of you guys are just there for a check at this point.
Right.
You're just there for a check. You can care less about what's going on in this child's mind.
But you know what another thing I feel like is a huge problem? When you bring teachers from outside communities into urban communities to teach, and they're really, you can clearly see that they're only coming here to get a check. Mm-hmm. But this community needs something different.
Right.
The students need something different. Like, these students, like, I really commend my sister, especially for her being a teacher. She put in a lot of personal work and personal time into making her curriculum fun.
Right.
And engageable, like something that somebody else would want to listen to. Because the book that they gave, listen, she showed me the curriculum book one time. Girl, I was in it.
But you know what's crazy? You can do, they're not even willing to do fun things like how your sister is doing. But, nowadays, you put music to this, these kids would learn everything like this.
But you know what they told her? They told her that she was doing too much. She was like, they were like, you don't have to do so much. But she was like, I want to do
right.
This. They're like, well, as long as you're covering the curriculum, you do whatever it is that however you want to do it.
Right.
Her students loved her. And after the first year, they let her go.
Because she was doing too much.
Not only was
she was doing too much. She was caring too much.
Look, not only was
she had too much of a heart.
She cared too much.
She cares too much.
But not only that, what they said was budget cuts. Last one.
Yeah, that's their normal thing to get right. Budget cut is you care too much.
Right.
You're giving too much attention to these children.
Right.
you're doing too much. You're teaching them a little bit too much. We asked you to go from A to B, and you're going from A, B, C, D, E, F. You're covering too much, so you're making these kids too smart.
Right. And that's really what it amounts to. The students aren't getting the teachers that they deserve because the society mandate is we need to keep these kids institutionalized and stupid.
Right. Because I know back in the day, and I don't know if I seen he had peeked in Uncle D.
He's still here.
But I remember when I was good at doing timetables, but I was not good. Like I could get like from maybe my 1 timetables to like my 20s, and that was it. I was done. I couldn't get over, and then dividing and the threes. I was having problems with that at one time. I think I was in the 5th grade. My Uncle D used to be a DJ. You know what he did? He took a beat from like Big Daddy King and them and rapped the timetables and did it on a tape player, little tape. And I listened to it, but it taught the rest of the school.
Right.
So I took that and gave it to my teacher. Uncle D made 2 tapes. I had one for myself, and I took one to school. And that's how, and it like rhymed like 1 times 1 is, and then it just went. And I'm like,
because you got to make it fun and engaging.
Right.
Not everybody can learn with just words on the page.
And nowadays, these kids are musical.
Everything is visual.
Yes.
Everything is visual, it has to be digitized some kind of way, whether it's in sound or in video form, because that's the only way they're going to engage in it.
Right.
When we were kids, we engaged with books because our parents read us books.
Right.
Nowadays, these kids ain't getting read books. They're getting an iPad like, here, take that and go.
Right. They come out the womb wanting an iPad or iPhone.
Let me see a phone.
Right. But there was a Mr. Brown from Willenboro. He's the principal of Memorial. Now, Mr. Brown, what he did, he had got a reward because he was a teacher at one time. Mm-hmm. What he did with his class, which I thought was so neat, he let all the kids vote every day before class. They would vote. So they would vote on what song, but the song had to have a meaning. It couldn't have cussing and fussing, whatever. Yeah. But that was their music for their mental.
Right.
So every time they come in class, boom, he pushed play. Right. And they could get their work done and everybody's jamming.
Right.
But all of these kids in his class, he had 4 different classes, all these kids passed.
Right.
Because
they're engaged. He was engaging them like, so if we go to science and we doing science, okay, so who did this? And he was having them rap it and reminded their, kept it in the back. Because I know with Uncle D, when he did that, and it was time for a test, SATs or something, I look at a question like, hey, they're doing the dance like, okay. Right.
Like I kept that in the back of my head where I could understand what was going on. They not putting in any work. So when it comes down to these kids, they end up going into a depressed state of mind, ended up clicking with clicks that they shouldn't be clicking with. You don't know your child. And I told the township, I stood up in front of my own township and told them this. You don't know your child. When your child walks out that door, you don't know who that child is. You don't know who. I know for my kids, half the people they know, I know, but I'm like, well, damn. They like, oh shit, Samaj just son, Hannah's your daughter. Oh, they good kids. Or I seen him at the. I didn't know that was your baby. Yeah, but I didn't. They're engaging. They're out here engaging, and you don't know who your child is. You can be the pastor of the church, the first lady. And your child can be the trigger. The one that's running around here popping everybody. And then come to church with you, come walk in your house. Yeah. Praise God. Oh, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. I love you, Dad. Oh, da, 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 da. Oh, yeah, let's read the scripture on the Bible. Got a whole schedule. He going to Bible study. Yeah. He doing all this. He going to church on Sundays, Sunday school, all that. And you
Friday night, he got a property.
Or every night.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you have the murderer in your house and you have no clue because why? You're not paying attention because you think, oh, you know what? I'm gonna let Greg outside. Yeah, go ahead. And not knowing all these bodies is coming up plugged.
Because Greg's outside.
Greg is the one doing it, but Greg in church talking about praise God.
Right.
Oh, like what do you mean, ho? No, ho.
Stop shooting people.
Call the police. This one, he done took everybody out in the church. Like, and it's sad for brown people.
Yeah.
Now we're not going to make this out of a racist situation, but it's really sad for the brown kids because the brown kids going to jail.
Right.
They're getting a book handed to them. They can go up in the school and spray the whole school. They're going to jail.
Absolutely. If they make it to the jail.
If they make it to the jail. But you get a pink person.
Yeah, get little Timmy.
And little Timmy done shot up a couple schools in the United States. And little Timmy he was depressed. His father used to beat on him. And Timmy has ADHD and OCD. And he has all of these depression problems.
All of these problems.
And little Timmy gets to get a smack on the hand and he goes to counseling.
For 2 years and now he's home.
Right.
Chilling.
Right.
No probation, no nothing.
But Wasim over here, he in prison. Wasim going to jail for like 10 years.
Yeah, or either that or we planning his funeral.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure depending on what kind of, he might or might not make it.
Right.
Like, because they're not looking to, oh, he's sick. Oh, they're not looking to mediate or mitigate the situation. They're like, oh,
right. It's a brown baby and he's wrong.
Yeah,
but if it's a pink baby, let's figure out what's wrong with Johnny.
Yeah,
something triggered Johnny because he wasn't
he's
like
not
that.
My Johnny wouldn't do that.
Johnny is crazy.
Okay, and you are too for thinking that he wasn't going to do it.
Right.
Because the signs be there. People be so oblivious
to what is going on, like retarded.
If you had pink fingernails this morning and now all of a sudden they black and now what's wrong, son?
Right.
Like what's the matter? You got this black eyeliner on this week. What's up? You feeling some type of way? You a little mad about something? Listen, as a parent, I feel like you're supposed to be in your kid's business.
Listen, I wish I would come home and you need counseling?
Right, because
ain't no boy supposed to be putting no eyeliner on.
Right.
Ain't no boy supposed to be putting my liquid eyeliner
on your
eyes and you not. Ain't no boy supposed to be. You get clear polish.
Yeah, that's it.
If you want to go and get your feet and nails done, listen.
Clear
polish. You ain't supposed to be walking around here with no black, pink, purple, blue. You're not supposed to be doing that. So now it's going to start triggering me as a parent
to start asking
because I care.
Right.
But society messed these kids up. Government, y'all have torn these kids and their minds is everywhere and they don't know to go left or right.
And the whole problem is it all comes back to the family. They have destroyed the family so terribly that it's purposeful. There was no hope after that. Like once your core family is broken, there is no returning from that. Like when your father's in jail, your mom is on drugs, who's raising the kid? Right. Nobody.
But then you got these women out here that just want to be out here getting pregnant.
Yeah, just be out here.
You just want to check.
Listen.
You just want to check. That's all. You see somebody having a couple $, and now you got a baby that's growing up. Dad didn't want you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Dad.
You didn't want the baby.
You was a one.
You wanted the baby.
You wanted the child support.
You wanted the dad and the child support. You didn't want the baby. He didn't.
She didn't want the child. She didn't want the man. She just wanted a baby. Some of these wenches out here just want what they see. They see a man with money, and it's like, I'm about to have a baby by him. Boom! You have a baby. You don't really want him. You want that man for his money. You don't want that child. So now, what happens to that child?
Neglected.
Underneath that chair it goes. Now this child is all freaked up in the head, don't know when to turn, go left or right, and now we stuck in another position. And then it goes back to what Jellolady said. Then the child ends up in the state's custody.
Right. And it's terrible.
Like
you got a child in the state's custody.
You got more brown kids in custody than you have pink kids.
Uh-huh.
You got all boys shelters. We got one in Mount Holly.
Yeah.
You can count count. When these boys is outside, you can count how many pink people or another race is it. Oh, it's about, okay, it's 100 kids, and out of 100, it might be 10.
Right.
Our kids are suffering. Like, the kids are just suffering. And it's sad because nobody's willing to step in. But I don't care about stepping. I love talking to the kids. I love talking to the people. But I ain't willing to die. Ain't no kid popping me. I'm sorry. You're not taking me out. And that's how aggressive they are now. Like, they're so aggressive where it's like, they go from here. What you say? You're like, oh, you know what? I said absolutely nothing. I said nothing. I'm going to get in my car. Guess what? You have a nice day. I hope you live to see 21.
Right.
And it's sad to be that way. It's sad to be able, to be able to think like that in your mind and say, you know what? I can't do it. I absolutely can't do it. I can't afford to get myself in a situation where now I lose my family because all I did was want to give you a hug or tell you, hey, you're very handsome. Let me take you to get something to eat. Or you want to get a haircut? Well, what the fuck you mean a haircut? I like wait, hold on. I was just trying to pay $40. Do you have $40 in your pocket to pay for a haircut? I was just trying to pay for you to get a haircut. And you want to pop me?
Right.
Like, these kids have no boundaries. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to just learn how to take a kid to the side and love on them. Even if you love on one, maybe that one can help 5.
Right.
Because one child out of an army can help a lot more. Because you gotta love on them. And if you don't, then you're not doing anything for society if you're not willing to help somebody, someone. But these adults, we as adults, we're in our ways. We're never going to change. Some of us will change, but you know what your change is going to be? You're getting older. You see a couple more creases. Maybe your bags might get a little thicker. Your hands might get a little wrinkler. We're going to change that way. These children, we need to change their mind frame.
Mm-hmm.
Their mind frame needs to be changed. So on that note,
yes,
it is time for us to go.
It is. It's time for us
okay, but just go out here and love on a child. Put some good words in one of these kids' ear and just tell them you love them. I don't know you, but I love you.
Right.
You never know what that can do to somebody. But we are out of here, and it's the Midday Madhouse.
Yes, and we'll see you
tomorrow. Oh, it's Friday. Sheesh. I love Fridays.
I do too.
It's time for us to go.
Time for the weekend.
Yes. Well, we love you guys, and everybody have a very, very blessed day. Happy Thursday. Happy Hump Day.
Yes, happy.
So you're humping hump.
Yeah, Hump Day was
yesterday. Yeah. Hump Day was
Wednesday.
Well, I see somebody put Hump Day for Thursday.
Okay, well, we humping all week. Let's get it.
Yeah, I get. Hey, humping don't stop. It's Monday through. You know what? 360.
Okay.
Here. I'll get it.
Right.
Do it. We're out of here. You have a nice day.
See you later.
What you see is what you get up on the morning show. I got a whole lot of bars, but before I go, chop real smooth. You know, boss. No, baby. Hold up. I'm about to go to Jellolady. They your host, 12 to 2. If you need a getaway, come and see this view.